Hi, welcome to the STG podcast, where we speak to business owners, entrepreneurs, and people in fitness and health. Today, I just want to talk about Relentless, what that means to me. It actually happens to be a book that I'm reading by Tim Grover, who's an NBA trainer, Coach Mike, Dwayne Wade, Kobe, and it's really added value to my week. It's been a tough one, so hopefully today we all learned something. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 12. That sounds so weird to say, but we're 12 episodes in, and I really wanted to touch base about a couple of things that I have going on, some things I'm excited about, really passionate about, and that's starting your own business and having something for yourself. So this week I really started talking to everyone that I've had verbal confirmations with, verbal agreements with, as far as doing the vending machine business, and that was a little nerve-wracking for me because I'm going out doing this stuff on my own, and I'm very confident that I can do it. It's just it's new, so you kind of stutter on a few things, and I think this week I went ahead and I prepared my proposals. I prepared the contracts, all those stuff. So it's all squared away. I thought that I should have those ready to present to people as soon as I saw them. And during this journey, I've had a lot of roadblocks, a lot of things that have happened in between. Everything that I've done, I haven't gone through LegalZoom or any of that. I've done everything myself, as far as starting the LLC, filing it, and then I got to do the fictitious name for the business. But one of the roadblocks is that the LLC that I filed hasn't cleared, and I've been waiting for it to clear, and you can't get a bank account, you can't get a loan, you can't do this, you can't do that. And that's really put a damper on a lot of the things that I want to get going. Can't purchase the machines, and I really don't want to use my liquid cash, the cash that I have on hand, to purchase these machines that, they're going to end up paying for themselves. And it's just, it puts a damper on the plans. But things like this happen for a reason. There's a reason why I'm being set back, and you may not believe in those kind of things, but everything happens for a reason. There's a reason why I'm not able to launch, and maybe to prepare myself. Maybe there's some steps that I've missed in between that I'm not ready to make, or there's some things that I needed to prepare myself for, as far as. And I can give you a perfect example. I've been looking for a distributor, and someone that I can actually go to, and maybe I have to sit back and get more information and gather more contacts and figure out more of the logistics of how I'm going to get things going. And that's not a problem. You just have to work around that. And the reason why I think the way that I've been thinking about this is because of the information, the people that I surround myself around, the content that I absorb. One of the things that I did, I completely deleted all the Instagram models off of my Instagram page. Now, did that hurt? Oh, yeah, but you gotta put yourself in that mind space of if you really want something, you have to completely dive in. And one of the books that I've been reading is Relentless, and he's the guy who wrote the book, he's a coach for, a trainer. He's a trainer for, top athletes. He trained Michael Jordan. He trained Dwayne Wade, and he talks about them a lot, frequently. Kobe. You gotta prepare yourself. You gotta go into that zone where you are completely and utterly devoted to whatever it is. For them, it's championships. For me, it's business and making sure that I'm financially stable and that I'm building those blocks of business and health, started and building into those realms. It's a very hard space to be into because I find myself isolating myself a lot, just completely devoting myself to the podcast. That's another thing that I had to take a step back and see what it is that I need to do in order to make this podcast the best podcast possible, because I want the content to be top tier. It doesn't have to happen now. Everyone who's listening, I hope you're listening 10 years from now, or if not, you share it and we can grow a base, a great base where people are engaging, and it's something that is positive for everyone. So I'm really big into growing that, and ownership and home ownership, for which is something I've been that's one of the things that has been real hard for me the last 3 years. I think this ties into everything that I'm talking about now, as far as taking a step back and just realizing that something's not for you. Then I started this journey maybe 2 years ago. I got pre-approved for I think it was 230,000, or maybe it was less than that. I think it was 195,000. It was just under 200,000 that I got approved for. Every 6 months, my evaluation goes up again. They say that I can afford even more home because of my credit history, because of the amount of cash that I have on hand, whatever it may be. So, but every time that it was a setback, let's say they told me that they wanted an extra 10 grand, or they weren't able to do it because it was a trailer and it needed to be, I think it was like 1975 or 1980, something like that. And you got to understand things about flood. Where I live here in the Keys, we're an island, so flood insurance is crazy. And some people don't want to give you a loan unless you can. There's variables. It got really complicated, and with doing everything that I've been doing this year, I feel like I won't allow those roadblocks. I won't allow those things to stop me from continually chase something that I really want. And at this point in my life, I really want to stop making excuses, to no longer put myself in positions where it's like, oh, okay, you can do it, but you didn't do it. There's always those people that you see, and they talk about all these great things that they want to do, but they haven't accomplished not one of them. There's not one step that they've made towards it. It's just a dream. And maybe it's not their time, or maybe they're just BSing. They're not putting in the work that they need to. And in order to accomplish those dreams and those goals, you got to really immerse yourself into that lifestyle. You have to immerse yourself into being around those people. You have to have talks. Something that's been happening a lot lately is the more that I immerse myself into my podcast, the more that I immerse myself into business, the more that I immerse myself into these books, more information, more people come in my direction. There's just so many more opportunities, because something like I say before, you say that you're looking for a red car, you'll find a red car all day because your eyes are looking for that. Your mind is set on finding that red car, you know? And I think it's a mindset that a lot of people lack. They don't want it enough. And don't get me wrong, I've BS'd a lot in my life. I've told stories about how I almost didn't graduate high school, and it's not because I wasn't smart enough. It was I didn't apply myself at all. When I was in school, I believe the only reason why I graduated was because I did credits after I failed a class, and I even failed a class before the end of the last 9 weeks of my senior year, and I made that up in a week, taking I want to say it was called NovaNet. It was a NovaNet class that we took in order to make up our credits, and I made up at least 7-8 classes doing that. Going into my senior year, I think I was a junior as far as credits went, or maybe even a sophomore. So that lesson there was a lot for me, but it's not something that I learned from the jump. You know, that lesson there is maybe something that I'm just learning from right now, just, you know, applying it. So I say that to say this. You have to apply yourself. You have to really, really want whatever it is that you're going after. There's so many people in my life, so many friends I come across, and they say I want to do all these things, but they haven't applied themselves, you know, and that part hurts me because I know that they're capable of it just as much as I am. No one is in such a horrible position where you cannot achieve something small. If you want to start a pool business, you can buy your tools and equipment and begin that business from the bottom up, you know. It's great example. Another great example of the many great examples that I'm brainstorming here is there's a kid who he washes cars and details them and everything, and he does all this stuff from out of his backpack. He's got a handheld vacuum that he uses. I thought that was freaking great that he even had it. And I gave this kid a chance because he's been asking to wash my car for last 8 months, 9 months. And, you know, I kind of brushed him off because I was like, man, this kid doesn't have, you know, the tools, the kits. He's like, oh, I'll bring everything to you. And when I seen him come with the backpack, I'm like, do you have the stuff to wash the car? He's got everything. And it's a small backpack. It's not like it's a big duffel bag or anything. He's got the handheld vacuum. He's got the soap. He's got a bucket. He's got a brush. And I thought it was really impressive, but he's building it from the ground up. He's really getting it out the mud. And if he really, really, really applied himself to it, if this is something that he wanted to make money off of, because there's plenty of people who make plenty of cash washing cars, because the mobile business is where it's at. If it's you're a mobile mechanic where you're changing tires, oil changes, fixing flats, mobile detailing, a lot of people are looking for convenience, and that's where everything is going. That's why Amazon is so big. That's why UPS and FedEx are the companies that they are right now, because of the convenience of fast shipping, being able to pick up a package at your doorstep and then send it across the world. It's a new wave, and that's not something that y'all need to hear from me. That's something that you need to recognize just looking around you. where is the world going, and see those trends and apply and apply pressure, So I just really wanted to drop some of that knowledge on you, share some of my stories, and hopefully next week when you tune in, I have somebody very interesting. I'm working on a couple people, and we can really dive into some real things, So stay tuned. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next week.
Astronomy, shot the riff.